Welcome to the last topic of Maths chapter Coordinate Geometry. And this topic is about inclination and slope. Inclination and slope. First of all, what is inclination? Inclination is the angle which any straight line makes with the positive direction of x-axis, measured in anti-clockwise direction. So whichever angle is made by a straight line with the positive direction, that is the right side. Positive is this side, this side. This is the positive side of x-axis. With the positive side of x-axis, any angle is made by a straight line which is measured in anti-clockwise direction. That angle is known as inclination of the line, and its symbol is theta, the Greek alphabet or Greek letter theta. So here, as you can see, the inclination is 45 degree. How come the inclination is 45 degree? So this is the straight line which we are talking about. This is the x-axis. Between them, the angle is 45 degree. How is it measured? It is, see, first it is measured with the positive direction of x-axis. This is the positive direction, and it is measured in anti-clockwise direction. When the angle is measured in positive direction but in anti-clockwise direction, then it is the inclination. So theta is 45 degree. Similar way, this is theta. Little bit greater angle than this one. It is 130 degree. So theta is 130 degree over here. Here theta is 120 degree. Now you must be saying this is the negative side of x-axis. But see how we are measuring the angle. We are measuring the angle in the sense that the angle is opening up towards towards the positive side of x-axis. So even if this line is positioned somewhere over here, if you measure the angle, they will have the same inclination, that is 120 degree. Right? Now this is positive side of x-axis. This is also positive side of x-axis, because when we consider the angle, we consider the whole side, this one and this one. This whole arm is considered, and this arm, if you see, it belongs to x-axis and it points in the direction of positive x-axis. That's why this is the inclination of this line is 120 degree. Okay, now you must understand few things. Parallel lines always have same inclination. Parallel lines always have same inclination. For x-axis and every line parallel to x-axis, inclination is 0 degree. That's a very valid, you can say, point, because that's one thing which comes to our mind, that what is the inclination of x-axis. So if you look at the Cartesian system, and in the Cartesian system, if you look at x and y axis, this is x dash, y dash. This is 0. The x-axis is horizontal line, and always remember that horizontal lines are not inclined. Horizontal lines are not inclined. They are horizontal. They are simply horizontal. And that's why their inclination theta is 0 degree. So all the lines which are horizontal, that is any line which is parallel to x-axis as well, any lines which are parallel to x-axis as well, will have their inclination as 0 degree. So the inclination of this line is 0 degree, inclination of x-axis we know 0 degree, inclination of this line is also 0 degree. Okay, this is because horizontal lines are not inclined, their inclination is 0 degree. Then they are saying the for y-axis and every line parallel to y-axis, the inclination is 90 degree. Theta is 90 degree. So suppose we have our Cartesian plane. In our Cartesian plane, this is x, x dash, y, y dash. The inclination of y-axis is 90 degree, and any line parallel to y-axis also has an inclination of 90 degree. Theta is equal to 90 degree for y-axis and any lines parallel to y-axis. Please note it down. But for x-axis, the inclination is 0 degree. For y-axis, the inclination is 90 degree. Okay, the next important term. Now we know what is inclination and how do we find it. Inclination is always calculated with the positive direction of x-axis, and it is always measured in the anti-clockwise direction. What is slope? Another name for slope is gradient. If theta is the inclination of a line, then slope of the line is tan theta. Now when you study trigonometry, you will understand what is tan. Tan is a trigonometric ratio. I'm going to teach you when I'm going to cover trigonometry. I'm going to teach you this. For now, just understand it as a formula. Slope is tan of the angle of inclination, tan of theta. Tan is a trigonometric ratio. Tan of theta is slope. If inclination is 30 degree, theta 30 degree, tan theta, that is the slope or gradient of the line, that is m. M is the symbol of slope. Okay, its formula is tan theta. So slope for a line whose inclination is 30 degree is tan theta, which is 1 by root 3. Slope of a line or inclination of a line is 45 degree, then its slope is tan 45, which is 1. Okay, so there are different values of tan of different angles. If you want, I can give you the values just for your reference. So tan 0 degree is 0. That means the slope of x-axis and every line parallel to x-axis is 0. Then tan 30 is 1 by root 3. Tan 45 is 1. Tan 60 is root 3. Tan 90 is infinity, not defined, does not exist. So you must be thinking, what about other angles? Suppose if I want to find tan 25 degree or tan, let's say 70 degree or tan 180 degree. See, these all values of tan are not in your syllabus as of now. Okay, so as of now, you just note down these values of tan, and for certain angle of inclination, if you know it's tan, that means you find tan of that angle. That means you know the slope of that line. Also, you need to remember two things which are very important, which I have mentioned over here. Tan 0 is 0 and tan 90 is infinity. So for x-axis and every line parallel to x-axis, inclination is 0 degree and slope is tan 0, which is 0. And for y-axis and every line parallel to y-axis, inclination is 90 degree and slope is infinity or not defined. Now we can see the same thing on our graphs. Okay, so for x-axis and every line parallel to x-axis, theta is 0. And what is m? M is tan theta, which is tan 0, which is nothing but 0. The slope is also 0. Slope has to be 0 because horizontal lines are not inclined, they are horizontal. Any horizontal surface or line does not have slope. Makes sense, right? Slope is how inclined, the measure of inclination is slope, how inclined a line is. Okay, for y-axis, slope is tan 90. For y-axis and every line parallel to y-axis, slope is inclination is 90. So slope is tan 90, which is infinity or not defined. They have infinite slope, they say. Y-axis and every line parallel to y-axis, vertical lines have infinite slope. Their slope is so much that it cannot be calculated. You must have been to some water parks. In water parks, you might have seen water theme parks. You might have seen these huge slides, and they say that there is 90-degree drop, vertical drop. It cannot be 90 degree. It has to be less than that, around let's say 70 degree or 75 degree. Because in 90 degree, it won't be a ride. It will be a suicide, right? Because the slope is infinite. You will not slide down. You will simply free fall down to your death. Okay. So now you know two important concepts, that is inclination and slope. Next important concept is y-intercept. Y-intercept. Remember the definition. If you want, you can note it down. If a straight line meets y-axis at a point, the distance of this point at which the straight line is cutting y-axis from the origin is called y-intercept, and it is usually denoted by small c. So here the y-intercept is AO, this much. Here the y-intercept is OB, and here the y-intercept is OC. The point at which the line cuts the y-axis, its distance from the origin is the y-intercept, denoted by small c. Note this down. For x-axis, y-intercept is always 0. Y-intercept is always 0 for x-axis because x-axis is cutting the y-axis at the origin. For every line parallel to y-axis, y-intercept is 0. Because any line which is parallel to y-axis will never intersect y-axis. So its y-intercept automatically becomes 0. Y-intercept is positive if measured above origin, and y-intercept is negative if it is measured below origin. Okay, so these are all the facts regarding y-intercepts. So you have studied three important concepts in this chapter: inclination and slope and y-intercept. See what is the relation between them. Any line which is a linear equation in two variables can be represented in the form of its slope and y-intercept. That's a very interesting thought, right? Any equation, if you don't know the line, okay, if you've not plotted the line, without plotting you can know its y-intercept and its slope. So what you need to do is basically you need to bring the equation in the form y is equal to mx plus c. So this is the slope intercept form. The coefficient of x, which is m, is the slope, and the constant term c is the y-intercept. Let us find the slope and y-intercept of these examples. The first one is 2x minus 3y plus 5 is equal to 0. 2x minus 3y plus 5 is equal to 0. So what do we have to find? We have to find the slope and we have to find the y-intercept. Now this equation is of the form ax plus by plus c, and I have to bring it in the form y is equal to mx plus c. Let's see how to do that. So first I'm going to write it as 2x plus 5 is equal to 3y. Now I'm going to make y the subject of the formula. So 2x plus 5 by 3 is equal to y. So y is equal to 2x by 3 plus 5 by 3. Now as I told you, in the equation y is equal to mx plus c, can we compare it? Can we compare it with this equation? What is in the place of m? 2 by 3. What is in the place of c? 5 by 3. Therefore, slope or m is 2 by 3 and y-intercept or c is 5 by 3. This is how you find slope and y-intercept of a line. Now you have not drawn the line, you have not plotted the line, you have not done anything, you've simply found the slope. So you can do the same thing for the rest of the two equations, but I would like to show one of them for you. 2y minus 5 is equal to 0. This looks interesting. 2y minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay, let's bring it into form of y is equal to mx plus c. So 2y becomes 5 and y becomes 5 by 2. So can I write it as y is equal to 0x plus 5 by 2? Yes, because there is no x. So it would be 0x plus 5 by 2. So what is the slope? Slope is 0. And what is the y-intercept? Y-intercept is 5 by 2. That means this line is parallel to x-axis. It is parallel to x-axis. Any line of the form y is equal to a is always parallel to x-axis, right? So let's check. M is 0 and y is 5 by 2. Now another type of question which will be asked to you. Find the equation of a line whose slope is minus 3 and y-intercept is 5. So they are saying form the equation of the line. Slope is minus 3 and y-intercept is 5. You have been given this two informations and you have to form the equation. See, the equation in standard form involving y-intercept and slope is y is equal to mx plus c, where m is the slope. So you write minus 3 in place of m, and in place of c you just write 5. So y is equal to minus 3x plus 5, or 3x plus y is equal to 5. You can write it any way, you will get marks. So similarly you can try the second one. And here we come to the end of part 3, and that also brings the end of the chapter. I hope you understood each and every concept in detail. I have taken my time and explained you everything, although the exercise has to be done by you. If you find any doubts, I can definitely discuss the doubts with you, but the chapter for me is over. So I will be seeing you in the next video. Bye bye.